So I thought I would dread working on this, but then I got high and desperately wanted to work on it. But then I got sober and my mom said if I don't eat the clams right now, I can't have any because she's, I don't know, mean like that. So I told her to make me some clams because otherwise I wouldn't get any. And before I wasn't, but now I kind of am dreading this because I don't want to talk about Stolz. So, I'll show about Stolz. This is a picture of a flower I drew in art class on Wednesday. This is a picture I drew of him after we broke up. And this side is what he looked like in high school. And this side is what he started to look like when he was dating me. And I really was attracted to both sides. Why was the car accident such a big deal? We have to talk about the car accident. I met Stolz in my first year of high school. This is one of those stories I can't remember. I remember it was the first time I was ever allowed out of the house with like a group of teenagers, ever. And my parents stalked us and watched us from the car when we were in the bookstore, and it was really creepy. My parents are way too overprotective. By the way, they said I had to cut out that part about somebody has to fix the cat genie after my dad dies as a message that you should kill my parents. I thought that was weird. I don't think I should have to say this, but don't kill my parents. I do love them. I don't want them to... I don't know, I have mixed feelings! I was 14 and I got in trouble because I got a huge hickey, and I ended up dating him monogamously for 1 week and polyamorously for the rest of the month. They were seriously parked in a car, I don't think they had binoculars, maybe they did, staring at us in the shopping center, walking from the bookstore to the movie theater. Okay, if you tell every little part of this story, it's gonna take forever. We kind of floated around in the same group of people after that until I started volunteering at Legally in like my second or third year of high school. Legally stands for Long Island Gay and Lesbian Youth. I volunteered there when I was in high school. Everything that made me an outcast in school made me popular there, that I was kinky and that I wasn't straight and that I was a sexpert. Need to know how to do something without getting caught, something that's kind of crazy and kinky but you don't want to get hurt. Can't ask an adult. I was the one you talked to. But that's where his girlfriend at the time, AG, thought I was so awesome. And that's where his girlfriend at the time spotted me. And at first he said, oh, she's just some dumb lesbian. But she's like, oh my god, she's so cool. And he rediscovered, I guess, I don't know, that I really was cool. And he started hanging out with me and his girlfriend. And she would always fight with him. And I would always have to try and patch up the fights as the awkward third wheel. And he would always cry and be upset. And I always tried to be there for him. When he was suicidal in high school, I took suicide watch duty very seriously. I was the one who was on call to like walk over. He lived a half-hour walk away, which is unusual. And by that I mean unusually close. Honestly, I wanted to fuck them both. And I did! We had a three-way in my swimming pool. And one time I laid on the floor while they had sex in the bed. For some reason. And when they broke up, I ended up dating AG and then blowing Stolz while I was dating AG, and she wasn't cool with that, so she broke up with me. I don't know, he just kept coming in and out of my life, but most of the time we were at the very least good friends. Although a lot of the theme of it was I had a crush on him and he did not reciprocate. I'd do pretty much anything to be around him, and he kinda used me for sex until I got the cue that, oh my god, he's not even really trying with me, he's not that sexy, and then I kind of got over him. I don't know how many years this spread out over, but once I was finally over him, I was about to start college, I was working for my dad, I had been out of high school for like a year or so. Dude, you just skipped over the whole part of the story where there was a homeless person living in your car during the last year of high... Yeah, but that story's about Laird, not Stolz. And this is the part where I'm going to talk about Stolz. I took some downtime between high school and college because I really didn't want to go to college. Like, really. Ick, you can see my braces. I actually wanted to pursue my lifelong dream of becoming a professional dominatrix. And that is a story in and of itself! Tell that story, don't tell the other— No, this story is about Stolz. Okay, so I finally thought I was over him, and we're hanging out as friends, and he falls for me. Yes. That was probably one of the happiest years of my life. Going to school and dating him. He gave me the strength to get through school, I guess, because he broke up with me. No, I broke up with him. Well, there was a car accident this summer after that. This was going to be the first time I had ever dated somebody for a whole year. Usually I get all excited and end up sleeping with them in the first 3 weeks, and then they've broken up with me within a month. I was so excited. 1 year anniversary with the guy that I had wanted to date on and off since about 14, that actually was way better in bed than I had thought before I dated him, because before I dated him he was just giving me the sloppy, I don't care about this chick, I just want to get myself off, blah blah sex. And when he was dating me, he was giving me the I actually know how to do sex and want to make you feel good sex, which was quite nice. Insert random joke about how small Stoltz's dick is. I know there's a lot of them floating around. I never made fun of his dick when I dated him. I never thought it was funny. I liked it. It was the perfect size for the back of my throat. So I figure it's not nagging if it's in the form of a cheesecake. So about a month before our 1 year anniversary, I get him a piece of cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory, and I bring it to him at work. I was the type of girlfriend who didn't have enough to do with herself, so I'd clean and plan delicious meals for him, like steak, which was one of his favorites. And I'd make him cookies and bring them to him at work if I was really bored, or I'd work on, like, I don't know, I really liked fawning over him. So I know he knows it's our anniversary, and we never, like, called each other that much, but towards the end of the relationship, he was going days and days without contact with me. It was kind of upsetting, and I would try and get a hold of him, and I wouldn't be able to. And so I kept asking him, what's up with our anniversary? What are we doing? Are we doing anything? And he's like, I don't even know if I'll be able to get the day off work. And I'm like, if they don't give you the day off. He was manager of Shit Shack, Radio Hell, The Shack! And they were just manipulating him into just so much work. He was the manager, and everything had to be perfect, and he was a workaholic and a perfectionist. And he was letting his life get eaten by his job, including the part that was me. So the day before our anniversary, I go and I confront him about it. Are you going to be able... And he's like, I don't know. I'm going to try and get out by noon. I'll see. Blah, 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 blah. So I start getting excited the night before because it's our 1 year anniversary, and I'm happy. And little do I know that... So I wake up the next day, it's like noon, which was not unusual for me, and still isn't unusual for me. I don't usually make it up before 3 o'clock now. I look for him at work. I look for him at home. I drive back and forth from his work to his home trying to find him. At work, they say, oh, he took like 2 days off. And I'm like, he did not take 2 days off on our anniversary just to not hang out with me. Oh, he didn't. I'm calling him. I'm flipping out. Where are you? What the hell? I figure he has to be breaking up with me. Who else does this? Why? I gave up at 4 and just started smoking and eating. And yeah, I didn't hear from him till 8. And I didn't even answer when he called because I was so upset. And he left me a message. Hi, last night I got into an accident at 3 a.m. and I've been in jail since then, and you're probably freaking out, and that's why I'm calling you, and I'm sorry. I don't even remember exactly what he said, but I still wanted to see him, so I went over to his house, and he was so hurt I couldn't even hug him, and it broke my heart. And I just feel empty over it now. The gift I had gotten him, which I still have, $200 some odd I spent, is null and void, because after the accident he gave up drinking, even though I think it's more likely it was caused from sleep deprivation. Turns out he had taken 2 days off and had planned on taking me on a trip to Bear Mountain or Big Bear or something upstate, and he knew I loved road trips, and yeah, it was gonna be awesome. He pulled away from me completely. Just completely. I called him several times. He never returned my call. I had to just stalk him and show up at work on Saturday. After a solid week of no contact from him, all psyched up to break up with him, with my mom in the car. He explained that he had been, either working or at the hospital all week and blah, 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 and he's sorry he never thought to call me in a whole week. And I said, I came here all psyched up to break up with you. He jumped on it like it was a life preserver. And before I knew it, we were broken up. And this was the weekend before college started again. And all throughout the summer, I had been working as a phone sex secretary. Did you really leave that out, that you were working that summer as a phone sex secretary and then doing webcam stuff and all that? You left that out about how that was making him grow away from you? No, I just added it now because I forgot it earlier. So I was working my balls off as a phone sex operator, working nights, and phone webcam sex, whatever, working nights, and not getting to see him. And then I was in school again, and scuba was hard, and Vicky. Now we have to talk about Vicky, but I have a feeling I'm getting close to my limit, so we'll save that for the next episode.